friends tell me.
My source tells me maybe your source.
She even looks older.
How dare you say that to me?
I didn't think Lion-O was like that.
I tell you it's true. The information comes from my best source. There's another thing. According to my source,
I did it for the money.
and I paid the money.
Are you sure your source is on our side?
You got
Thundercats.
mail.
And keep your foot off that blasted Sommoflan.
Welcome back, Bunglers, to another episode of ThunderCats Reviews, brought to you by the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with everyone's favorite brother and mine, David. And this week, Bunglers, we have some mail for you. Some long overdue mail, but also we want to prolong ThunderCats, and we only have a handful, David, of episodes left. So throughout this season, we're going to try to do little things in between, a little more mail, a little more something to keep ThunderCats alive a little longer for y'all. So, hi, David.
Well, hello. I love more mails. I mean mail, as in letters and emails and oh my.
We do go back and forth by calling this the M-A-L-E episodes and the mail.
Well, we do have M-A-L-E people writing in as well.
We do. Matter of fact, we have multiple mails. But you know, one of our longest, biggest supporters has been Metesh, who, from the beginning, years at this point, years and years and years and years. And we pre-recorded last week a section of Metesh's mail that we'll insert here. It was his review of Return to Thundera parts 1 through 5. And we recorded that a few weeks ago.
One thing that Ryan did not mention is that the sound between the two recordings is going to be very different because have new mics.
Yes.
And this is supposed to be yet another upgrade for the podcast, and I'm hoping you can hear my voice even more sensual. These microphones are supposed to be exquisite.
And David, we're recording in the same location.
We are. So you have, not only do you have us recording in the same location, but you have the microphones. I want to start that career. What do they call that with the white noise? I want to start scratching.
MSR? No, I don't think that's
S&M? What? No. Anyway.
ASR.
I'm going to start doing this with the microphones, right? It's my side hustle.
Why don't you could even use Mumm-Ra. This is a Mumm-Ra toe from a 1985 LJN Mumm-Ra figure.
I'm rubbing Lion-O against the microphone.
Can you hear his
Can you hear his roar? So anyway.
But also we had a lot there's a lot of mismatch going on. We're recording these out of order because in the meantime, also next week we have a full ThunderCats review with lovely Leah. She was our guest, and we did the episode appropriately named Leah, as well as Frogman, and that is a massive episode. So again, we're breaking up ThunderCats just so I could edit, also to extend it for you, but look forward to that. We had a great time.
We did, and part of this last season of the 80s ThunderCats is that we're having a lot of guests on for this, and we had Zach on, we're having Leah on, we're hoping to get Sean Buddha back on.
He is, as of today, before we're recording this, he is teasing the next book. I cannot wait to see what the reveal is of the Thunderverse, I believe it might be called.
We're trying to get as many people that supported us from the very beginning and during the journey to be on the show, because this is what kind of started this. Obviously, we're going to be doing the other revivals of the ThunderCats, including Roar and all 2011 and all of that. But we definitely want to get as many people that have supported not only our show, but the franchise as well. We even have another special guest that's going to be coming on from
We Want More ThunderCats, Eggman. Yes.
So
a big part of the ThunderCats community for years.
So this is really big for us and really great to share it. So I'm actually really excited about doing this, and I'm really excited about, like he said, extending our time, because this is what kind of got us here. Without any further interruptions, Ryan has got some mail.
Yes, and I do want to call this Metesh Mail and More as the name of the episode. Before we get into Metesh's playing the previous recorded message, but also his brand new What If extravaganza story, and Bungler's, oh my god, Costas, Leah's old messages, Daniel, we have so many other comments trying to catch up on everything, but one was from Karrisa, and Karrisa says, hooray, ThunderCats are back. Thank you, Karrisa. Yes, we are. They're loose, and so are we. Question of the day.
Generous.
Generous. Ever since Grune was first introduced into the series, it was revealed that he and Jaga were once friends, comrades. I always wondered how and when they first met. Were they childhood friends, or did they meet later on? What brought them together, and why was Grune so willing to portray Jaga and eventually portray Thundera? What drove Grune to that point? So, Karrisa, great question. That is a great question. The mythos, matter of fact, Grune is a character that does return in the 2011 series.
I think it's power. I think that Jaga was chosen to wield the Sword of Omens, and I think ultimately jealousy and that power struggle. That would be ultimately, for me, be the logical reason why.
Well, the official continuity, David, does say that, like Karrisa said, Jaga and Grune were once great friends. And so we know that Grune was once a ThunderCat. And the ThunderCats Wikipedia does say he and Jaga were once close allies, but greed and the hunger for power, David, overtook Grune, and he led a group of Miranders and waged war with the ThunderCats. The two fought, and Jaga was the stronger one. He banished Grune from Thundera and what appears a crystal-like container. Oh my god, we go through this. Marauders? What did I say?
Miranders?
Miranda? Isn't that from Sex and the City?
He had Miranda from Sex and the City.
Or Miranda Rights. I read him the Miranda Rights. Yes, those people. Wayward folks. Mirandas.
Sorry out there to any Mirandas that might listen to the podcast. You're not being singled out.
We'll just wait for next week with the mirror wrench. Wraith, pantsless mirror wraith for lovely Leah. Also, we discussed this in the next episode that Jaga likes to bury things that he doesn't want to talk about.
His feelings.
His people.
Swords.
Ex-girlfriends, possible.
That is really cool. That was really, honestly, that could have been a
spin-off.
It could also have been at least a really good jam-packed episode, or even like a couple of parter, because that could have been big part of the mythos of like why this came about, and
yes,
the tragedy. You could have even tied that into the demise of Thundera, how
instead of a sword, instead of the sword of Flundar. I agree. It should have been.
You always come up with really
great questions, Karrisa. Very great
really
questions.
Cool.
And also, if any of our bunglers have more to add, I know, my goodness, you all are so good and come up with things. If you want to add to help answer Karissa's question a little better, love that, Karrisa. Thank you so much for your support always. Also, a new face on our Bungler side, David, but not from Radical. We had a comment on Radical also from this person. I'm so glad that you came on over here with ThunderCats. So this is from BBG372. The reformation of Thundera is when the series officially jumps the shark. Remember that ThunderCats crash landed on Third Earth because their flagship was damaged by the mutants, and they did not have enough life support to make it to the new designated Thunderian homeworld with the rest of the fleet. Yes, even then, the journey was so long that Jaga turned into dust piloting the ship outside the status pod. When the ThunderCats awoke on Third Earth, everyone they knew was either in stasis, on their way to an even more distant homeworld, or had already settled that homeworld and died, because the journey of the ThunderCat nobles took more than a lifetime. There would be no Thunderians near enough to Third Earth to settle there. It is as if the writers either forgot or more likely stopped caring about fundamental continuity established in the first episode. Also adding, I think that the 5-part miniseries Mumm-Ra Lives is when the series peaked. It returned to the dark post-apocalyptic tone of Exodus and the Unholy Alliance, both great. Very, very dark. Yes, as we said early on. Unfortunately, it does not last. by the day of the eclipse, the Sword of Omens becomes a Swiss Army knife for lazy writers who have painted themselves into a corner by taking on any ability the plot needs. Yes, something we've always said, right? The Swiss Army knife of swords. And the following episode is the ridiculous side swipe featuring Mexican Takeout, which came up next week on our next episode too. Leah brings up the Mexican Takeout. Season 2 starts with promise, peters out halfway through. Season 3 is practically unwatchable. Okay, so that's a lot, David.
I have to say I'm not going to dispute a lot as what is said, because we actually we're going to channel the future, but it hasn't happened yet, but it has because of time constraints.
Yes.
Leah is in another hemisphere.
Literally.
Another continent.
Another day ahead.
Literally another day. I'm not going to blow up where Leah is. I'm not giving out your address, Leah. But very far away. She was in, we were recording in Thursday. She was actually in Friday. So that's how far away she is. So we had discussed Roberto's Mexican
takeout. Yep.
And obviously I made the joke. I'm like, I'm so happy that things like apples and Mexican food survived the earth reforming after its third or fourth apocalyptic event.
That is ridiculous.
Too. But I do agree in many ways, but I guess, so I can bring this back before I spiral. We talked about how toy sales had plummeted at that point, how they knew they had a certain amount of episodes to fill. And we kind of were a little upset because we thought that, and we had mentioned this in next week's, how they could have done so much more with it and really went out on a very high note. And I'm not saying that because we haven't gotten to every episode. I don't remember all the episodes.
Matter of fact, we really liked Leah, the episode.
Well, we did like Leah, the episode. But what I'm saying is we did say there were a lot of missed opportunities.
Yes.
Even if you want to dispel that, because the fact that the whole planet reformed, even though Mumm-Ra is very powerful, even though I always laugh and say the mystical star of Thundera, Lion-O, couldn't destroy him. So the supernova of a star that exploded did not kill Mumm-Ra. There was a lot of missed opportunities where they could have really come up on a very, very high note and added a lot more layers. So I agree with, and we mentioned Jump the Shark too before.
I think we did.
Jump the Shark moments.
And we definitely always thought of that, like, how did this happen? I remember talking to Zach, like, we knew that they needed to be in suspension pods. And this random Berbil just picked them up, Pumyra, Lion-O, and Bengali, and didn't go in suspension pods, also made it to Third Earth. So BB is right. That is...
Well, I think we had discussed that at one point, saying that maybe Berbil's ships had, like, warp drive, like they had better technology.
Could actually, maybe.
Because, those Berbils like to procreate a lot. They need to get...
From here to there quickly.
They need to get here to there quickly.
They gotta get here to there.
Out babies constantly. That's why they had to leave their home planet, because they had no more space.
They ran out of space. But
baby. Anyway, so we obviously lovers of the franchise. We try to like go, okay. But yes, I feel you. I understand what you're saying. I agree with you in many ways. So
we promised that Metesh mail. Let's get into it. This will be from a different audio recording, and then we're going to come back and we're going to read Metesh's story, original tale. Dear Radical Ryan and Delicious David, I have really missed you both this summer, but due to all your amazing talent, humor, hard work, thank you so much, and beauty, we all have the Radical ThunderCats reviews, and I've immersed myself again from the beginning for the third time. Metesh!
Wow, thank you.
It's an amazing journey you take us through. So, Metesh, I don't know. I need to come up with something. Like, I'm going to give you an award of some kind. So, we are now at the last 5-parter of the series, and I'm going to give you a 100% Metesh-filled review, which, as my children and students know, I won't hold back, and I go full humor. We love it. And I'm going to review it live as I watch. I'll express my first thoughts and feelings. Live review. Ho! So as Panther would say, if we're gonna do it, let's do it.
Do it.
So, Return to Thundera, Part 1. Clueless Karen loves JJ, or Lion-O Unspoken Condition. We start with a recap of the circus train and the last day by Lion-O, and then the T-Cats gather the friends and allies of the ThunderCats, commit an act of terrorism, and blow the hell out of the Black Pyramid. The ThunderCats have no idea about retaining value or historical sites. The revenue from tourists alone would be fantastic for the Berbils. Never mind, let's blow that up. It was funny to see that Tiger and Pumyra were the two cats left behind. Nothing to do with their popularity or anything. Lion-O titles the allies as the leaders of Third Earth, LTE. Metesh abbreviates it. Where was Tamagar the Tuska? Him and Snowman could have been great buddies. I totally agree.
That was one of the things I thought of.
Then it's bye, Felicia, and the ThunderCats are off with their rock and roll hits, leaving the LTE with elevator music. Bye! The ancient spirits rebirth Mumm-Ra or Dustra and Mammut in space and then teleport them into a portable pyramid to New Thundera. As the ThunderCats approach, music blasting, Cheetara could not even wait to start moaning and groaning and feels danger. But all they find is a bunch of stone giants, dads who get buried in the sand by their giant children, no doubt. I've been there. I'm sure David can relate. Just leave them alone and let them get a good tan. Then I heard the stone dad say, "Hey, Linkso, don't touch me there. That's my no-no square."
I know that. Hey,
Lion-O tries to hoe, but then reaches that golden age when, well, you just can't get it up as quick as he used to. He's just not as young anymore. Been there, brother. Or maybe he's just out of batteries. Let's just say it's that. Then the ancient spirits evil, or ASOE, tell a cock and bull story to Dustra. I really started getting flashback of Ryan struggling with all the Cheetara's genital gyro. This is what I thought. Metesh, when we were rewatching these episodes, I was thinking of Gyro Mastery. Yes. And as someone who has now listened 3 times, thank you for bringing that back. Whenever that was, don't do it to my Ryan again, you teabags. Zach had to get us out of that one. And then there's a new character with an original name, Jagara. Doesn't sound familiar or lazy to me at all. What a bunch of
Lady Gaga.
What a bunch of boneheads. I'm going to name her Karen for this review. Then Lion-O try the old "you and me are the same. We're just from different neighborhoods. Come on, we're brothers under all that stone, right? Who would have thought that would work?" And it did. Then Lion-O wants to start breaking up all the stones. So F those stone dads, right? And build me a cat's lair. Is this your land, Lion-O? Or have you just appropriated it, bitch? Ooh, Metesh he felt the fire of New Thundera. Dustra gets a great idea to turn JJ, Jaga the Judgmental. There we go. That's the abbreviation. Then we see the so not enslaved Snarfs working for the man. Capitalize the man. Hey, do you brothers and bunglers think Judgmental Jaga and Clueless Karen dated in the past? Because man, is she happy to see her old flame. Then JJ uses a fake Book of Omens to roofie Clueless Karen, and she starts to the end of New Thundera in part 1. Never mind. It was a great visit. Lion-O finally manages to hoe. Good for him. Then JJ steals the literal knob of the gyro. Not bad. Lots of bungling going on. My bungler is Lion-O for not seeking medical advice before he tried to hoe in public. Having gone through a similar ordeal, it's better to catch those problems early and ask for help before you do. Ho! Yes, always go for medical advice. Part 1 gets 3 hoes from Metesh. Now we got part 2. We start with totally not enslaved Snarfs working tirelessly for ThunderCats to build the new cat's lair. And someone turned off the gravity on and off again. Then we check in on Clueless Karen, who is having a Clueless Karen moment. Dustra seems really confident that no one will be able to replace the broken knobby handle. What if Panther just shoves the key of Thundera in like he has done before? Totally. Then Snarfer gets all flustered about a message about Thunderian refugees coming to the new Thundera. Now, this is the one issue that this Thundera that makes sense. We know that ships were blasting off from Exodus and Ho, the movie, but many did get destroyed. So some escaping and returning with a what the F look on their face when they see the planet. Okay, I can accept that. But not the whole planet reforming. We see Dustra making a long, distant call to Grune the Destroyer, and boy, has he grown. That's some diet, old Grune. Giant Grune versus Lion-O and Cheetara is really cool fight, but it ends with the Sword of Omen shattering again, like a broken tooth. He beats them, it leaves them hanging, job done. What a Bond villain. He never sees them actually die. Pathetic. Then Snarf gets captured by a Captain Planet villain with a smog ship. We meet the four-armed Char, who melted the whole sword, including the Eye of Thundera. Did we miss the scene when all the ThunderCats suddenly died? Like when King Arthur did the same thing? Oh, never mind. Fun scene seeing Snarf flying back with the sword to Lion-O. Grune goes to cash his check from Dustra, and boy does it bounce. And Grune versus Lion-O Part 2 ends quickly with the Eye of Thundera, which is now transported Grune through space and gets him buried underground. This episode, the biggest bungler is Mumm-Ra. He can get a super-powered Grune. He should have got an army of spirits, the Driller, Hammerhand, and hit Lion-O hard. Part 2 gets 3 hoes for the love of Grune. Return to Thundera Part 3. A fancy 69 bot. What? We start with Dustra waking from a new, well-needed nap and giving Mamat some love in his old age and bitching about how Part 1 and 2 has exhausted poor Dustra. Then we discover that Dustra has napped long enough for the ThunderCats to build an impressive fortress lair, more Sphinx-like, true, than the Cat's lair on Third Earth. Looks like Dustra has had some dementia issues and gets electrical shocked. I think he has a sharp stroke suddenly and Mom-Mutt. And called him a dreadful dog. Mummy, please, you better take a look in the mirror. Linkso seems to have a classic cinema snack tray, which he is trying on.
That's what I was thinking.
What?
Cigars, cigarettes, popcorn.
He did kind of look like he had a strap thing on, which he is trying on, but no one has the cat balls to let him know this. It's not funny to mock the disabled ThunderCat, and it's not in your code, but Linkso, I'll have a sweet popcorn, please. He gives us some Twitter updates about Thunderians returning and news about someone two-timing someone. It better not be Bengali. That's gonna burn David. How dare you, Tiger? Our David is a great provider. Aww. No two timings for Bengali. We have a messed up two-headed 69 bot, one head on the top, one head where his groin is. David, please help this 50-year-old hoe. What is this thing? What were they thinking? If this is a cankerous 69 sex bot, we of course accept it. But we are not here to judge. But we are all watching ThunderCats. My Thunder Pup looked at this thing and said, why doesn't it have two heads side by side? Which we all would have seen in Masters of the Universe and She-Ra. Yes. Okay, so instead of having like a two heads, David, what is it? Is it a 69? I love this. A 69 cantankerous sex bot?
I don't know. Could be something bad. Could be something good. And he also is able to flip people over and hold them there.
Yeah, he was flipping people over. And we have a current political point being made of refugees wanting to return home and are being stopped. This all sounds like fake news. And once again, we have Lion-O asking how and why questions about what's going on with the planet. And no one says, sight be on sight. How many times does David need to keep reminding you, pussy cat? Were you not saying sight be on sight as well, David?
Yes, I was.
Never mind, Lion-O. Panther has built you a new ship, so you don't have to put your hands in your pocket and get your sword out. Did you notice the popular cats go off in the Thunderstrike and the other gets captured by the 69 bot? In this case, we can all forget Tiger and Pumyra are still on Third Earth being unpopular.
Popular. You're going to be popular.
The popular cats stop Mumm-Ra. I forgot this was the first time anyone stopped him in the 5-parter. Lion-O, Panthro, and the kittens use their amazing detective skills to find the refugees by turning around and spotting them. Well done, lazy cats. Lion-O knocks out 69 bot quickly, and bitter Panthro says the cool cats who arrived are late as usual. That's what you took note of. What a bitch. Just because you weren't involved with the cool cats. Such a jealous cat, Panthro. The kittens rescue the refugees by blowing them up. At least they are at peace, and you don't have to explain what happened in Thunder Cubs to make this planet come together. JJ does in for a second date with clueless Karen, who is still feeling hypno-drugged. I love that even after all these years, they have to say out loud all the bad things that are happening because Mumm-Ra, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and Mumm-Ra was visiting to view some new real estate on the planet. I apologize for jumping to a negative conclusion. Lion-O finally uses sight beyond sight to be a voyeur and seeks a look at JJ and clueless Karen's second date. Panther does his classic pick a loaded weapon to JJ and say, I dare you, pick up the gun if you can. Old Dumbra even tried, and Lion-O hoes all over Mumm-Ra. Mumm-Ra shows then he has the knob or rod of power and makes comments about their cat box or litter tray or damn, he went there. He did. He went for that. He said cat box. What is this, naughty pun? This episode, the biggest bungler is Lion-O. Use sight beyond sight, you silly cat. What a waste of resources. Making the new ship, sending the cool cats off chasing their tails. You bungled it, Lord. Part 3 gets 2 hoes. A middle episode where little happens. It does reveal Mumm-Ra, though. True. Return to Thundera Part 4. We start with some sweet Dustra and Mutt love. Probably because he wants something. He reminded the audience about Tigra and Pumyra's existence. And Mutt does a solo jailbreak mission to free the mutants from Captain Clown in the galaxy. Disguised as Mandora, he easily kills the clown and frees the mutant. What a good boy. Aren't you a good boy? Yes, you are. They head for Third Earth, and Tigra hushes Pumyra when she spots the train coming in. I'm sure it's not a problem. The mutants have to capture the 2 ThunderCats, and they have the League of Thundera to deal with too. So what a showdown. The whole new Sphinx lair falls on poor Snarf. The Sword of Omens is going nuts. Lion-O's growth issues from part 1 have definitely gone as he extends the sword, and for a second I thought it was going to teleport, but the pussies flies to Snarf. They actually try to lift it. What bullshit. That would never work. Use the sword. Wait, that worked. Okay, I'm out. Chitara, jump on this pipe. That's what Back on Third Earth, the mutants do their same shit and try to give Snowman some trouble. He serves them their asses, of course. Mandora flies in and saves Captain Clown, who has been falling from space into the atmosphere of Third Earth and survived that to fall into Mandora's bike. And I just realized Mandora sounded like Clint Eastwood in her pattern of speech. Why did the mutants do this early season 1 crap? Going after Snowman, was this a diversion from a greater plan? No, it's as stupid as it looks. They get captured back to the train, and the Captain Clown actually tries to get a date with Mandora, who quite rightly gives him the cold shoulder. I got better things to do. Eat my dust, old man. It's okay. So Metesh says part 4 gets 1 hoe. What a waste. Judging by the last scene, this whole 5-parter is not about the spirit of the planet going in a new world, community, or anything meaningful. It's about Mumm-Ra's theft of the rod of power and regulating the gravity. So it should have been called Return the Rod, or can I get a quote for this job? What a waste of a 5-parter. I hope we can pull it out of the bag in part 5. The biggest bungler for this episode is God. I don't know. All of it except Mama. What a great dog. You're such a good boy. So, part 5. Here we go. If we're going to end this, let's end this. Please end this. The exciting conclusion to this epic 5-parter starts with the ThunderCats standing around saying, "We're defeated. It takes a refugee with a speaking part to say, "Come on, cats." And they all start echoing his words. Then Mumm-Ra goes down to clueless Karen and does what, let's be honest, he could have done in part 1, which is destroy the spinning gyro genital ball. The gyromancer. Job done. Mumm-Ra wins. No third date with Karen. Not after he slaps her out of the way. And we're back on Third Earth. Bye, everyone. Oh, there's more? After another rumble of rocks, Lion-O breaks the fourth wall to announce to the viewer that this 5-parter has gone on long enough. We agree. A little late to notice, but yes, let's end this nonsense. Now we see the strongest message about climate change. Look, you doubters. Thank you, Mumm-Ra. You spoke to the right generation. Captain Mumm-Ra says, go to red alert and the shields go up, Mr. Sulu. With Lion-O out of ideas, Jaga makes his first appearance of the 5-parter, who has a fantastic original advice for Lion-O. Use the effing sword of omens, dummy. Then the genius jumps out of the plane and we get another Star Trek reference. Transporters to full. Beat me down, Mr. Scott. P.S. I love Star Trek. You got to watch Lower Decks. It's my jam, baby. I remember our father still watches.
I like Star Trek. I used to watch
Star Trek.
I used to watch Star Trek all the time.
I used to like Enterprise.
The Next Generation. I used to watch Captain Janeway, Captain Picard.
Captain Janeway. Oh my god. The final battle. Lion-O versus Mumm-Ra. The well-oiled. It starts with It starts with a bit of flirting, 1-on-1. I think Mumm-Ra was remembering the great embrace they shared in Ryan's beautiful song. So romantic. Lion-O's first fighting move. Pointless. Please stop, Mumm-Ra. Mumm-Ra's move. We've had so many good times, but now it's over. And blindside blasts Lion-O down a dark hole. The metaphors continue. Mumm-Ra declares victory. We are so happy for him. If you did not know, Lion-O never called back after that moment. They had in another dark hole. Oh, Lion-O. Lion-O fell so long, if this was Earth, he would have reached the other end of the planet and visited lovely Leah. I'm coming, girlfriend. She is the best. We all know it. Oh, lovely Leah. We see Mumm-Ra practicing that laughter yoga. Good for him. It's very healing. Lion-O, of course, interrupts him. Then it's sword-on-sword action for round 3. Some pretty good action. Panthro says he doesn't want to sound defeatist, but the adult T-Cats have been negative all episode. And Lion-O's ThunderCats ho, of course, and suddenly everyone hoes and feels unbeatable. All present T-Cats blast their phasers, more Star Trek, at Mumm-Ra, and as if they were on stun, Mumm-Ra just goes, bye, Felicia, and flies off. Lion-O does super desperate prayer, Sword of Omens, please end this 5-parter, where science and magic have failed, and we could have not eBayed the missing rod. For Jaga's sake, sort this story out. It does, of course. The Snarfs have been freed from their bondage and everyone hoes. But where is Mumm-Ra? Dustra does that I'm getting too old for this shit, Mom Mutt speak, and starts claiming victory until he turns to his live YouTube channel and and the channel managers, Ancient Spirits of Evil. They punish him for his low views. That's got to burn.
Oh, it does.
Key advertisement, Dustra. Key is advertisement, Dustra, and apparently Apple reviews. Don't get me started on that one.
No, we need Apple reviews, people.
That's why Lion-O give a final prayer to the Sword of Omens, and it's ho goodbye. It's almost a setup ending by stating, as long as we have the sword, we'll be okay. So the rest of the season will be new and exciting villains trying to get the sword, right? The 5-parter gets 2 hoes. Was this a good story in establishing the return to Thundera for the ThunderCats? Simply no, I am afraid. The biggest bungler was Mumm-Ra. He had the power to destroy the gyrogenital spinning ball thing. Not just sabotage it, but destroy it completely. But he just stole a piece and they wasted the movie trying to find the source of the issue and stare at it. Love you both, my bungling brothers. All my love, respect, and hugs to Ryan, David, and all the bunglers. Ho! Love Metesh, Thunder Cubs, and Bell. Ho! Metesh, that was epic. Oh my god, you were so fiery. You felt the fire of Return to Thundera parts 1 through 5. You felt the genitals spinning.
I can't say that I disagree
of the gyromaster,
the things that he said.
My beloved bunglers, this is my movie proposal for Return to Thundera, or What If. And please roll with this cousin Zach. Jaga was on trial for destroying Thundera. This is my complete recon movie idea to solve the issues which happened in Thunder Cubs, the 5-parter, especially in part 1, and the results of those actions in Return to Thundera. Part 1, Return of the Thunderians, or Thunderians, ho! The ThunderCats discover a planet by Cheetara and Linkso, who have a vision and a feeling that there are other Thunderians in outer space somewhere. We have all previously seen this happen. If that's unbelievable, you can also have Mandora or Captain Shiner come across it. Okay. I'm okay with Cheetara and Linkso both having a sense of that. The ThunderCats board the feliner. Everyone except Snarf, Snarfer, and Panther, Wily Cat, and Bengali. We'll find them later. Travel to the planet where the vision leads them. The ThunderCats arrive to see a small cat's lair, but it looks more like a rodent than a cat. Strange. The feliner scanners pick up a village with a small community living there, and they look like Thunderian refugees. As the ThunderCats land the feliner, Lion-O discovers the Thunderian refugees are distant and angry towards him. And from the crowd of Thunderians emerges Ratar-O. The Thunderians chant, "See our Lord and Savior, the true Lord of Thundera, our Lordy Lord." Part 2. Lord Ratar-O. The ThunderCats immediately attack Ratar-O, and the Thunderians come to his aid. They call out, "This is our Lord Ratar-O," and they form a circle around him. Ratar-O approaches Lion-O and announces, "Peace, my Thunderians, you are free people now, not governed by those cowards and betrayers." We learn that Ratar-O found Thunderians on escape pods and damaged ships, and when they all expressed anger towards ThunderCats for abandoning them on their doomed planet and drifting in damaged spacecrafts, the Pumyra defense, he gathered them up and found this planet to be the new Thundera for them. Lion-O and the ThunderCats are speechless, and the Thunderian refugees capture the ThunderCats, who surrender their weapons. The ThunderCats find it unbelievable and keep saying, "But we are ThunderCats. We've had 3 seasons of episodes showing how cool we are. Aren't you supposed to love us?" And this is in the conflict of my 5-parter, not a nonsensical, reformed, earthquaked planet emotional conflict. Lion-O tries to persuade the Thunderians they did not abandon them. They hear multiple sad stories from the traumatized Thunderians. This causes Lion-O to relive his trauma from Ho, the movie, and Pumyra admits her pain of being left behind by the royal flagship and sympathizes with the Thunderians, and actually joins them and Ratar-O. Due to her unresolved issues, Pumyra bows down to Ratar-O and says, "You are my lord, Ratar-O." Lion-O's jaw hits the ground hard. A peaceful Ratar-O greets the now imprisoned ThunderCats and introduces them to an old Thunderian priestess, an even older Snarf. She calms down the crowd of angry Thunderians and announced, "Peace, my fellow Thunderians. You were right, the ThunderCats did abandon you, but it was another who caused your loss of freedom. Our planet and our home. It was Jaga, the destroyer of Thundera. He is our true enemy." I figured Lynn Lifton would be voicing this Snarf.
She would probably have to.
"He is the true enemy of Thundera." Part 3, the trial of Jaga. Time to pay for your crimes, bitch. Sorry. "What the F?" screams Lion-O. "Who? Jaga the judgmental? Jaga the jerk? Jaga the jelly? He cannot be responsible for any of these actions. Have you not seen our episodes? Jaga can do no wrong. Right, pussies?" Lion-O is very spicy as well in this story.
I feel him.
Lion-O and the ThunderCats are truly shocked. They never saw part 1 of the Thunder Cubs flashback when Jaga threw the sword of Plundar in the volcano. In Mumm-Ra's pool, the priestess and Thunderians yell, "Bring forth Jaga, let him answer for his crimes." ThunderCats have a restless night in cages, with Thunderian beams keeping them weak. FYI. Oh, Thunderanium beams keeping them weak. FYI, the Thunderians took the sword Sword of Omens and placed it on display in their community center. Oh, that's nice. I bet you it's beautiful. They have a summer fair coming up and thought it would look nice. They can touch it because they're not evil. Spoilers. We're now in outer space and see Mandora being a badass as she catches up to Captain Shiner's ship and gets him to pull over, puppy. I've got a warrant for your arrest for kidnapping and moving prisoners from Ho the movie. Back to Third Earth, Jaga appears to Snarf, saying, "The ThunderCats have been captured by Ratar-O, but don't worry, it has nothing to do with me, so sort this out, Snarf. I'm off for the tanning salon." Hope it works. Panthro contacts Mandora, who has captured Captain Shiner's ship now. Bengali and Wily Cat go to talk to the Berbils, specifically Robert Bob and Robert Bert, who are now in a committed relationship. Aww. And we are all happy for them. Apparently the wedding was off the charts fuzzy.
Aww, how sweet.
Oh my god. Okay. Returning to New Thundera, they are preparing for the trial of Jaga. Lion-O is brought to the court and willingly calls for Jaga, who he says Jaga will explain he had nothing to do with the loss of our beloved Thundera. There is no way he could be responsible for all my trauma. I am doing a Dr. Evil face. Jaga materializes in a bathrobe, and the Thunderian priestess casts a spell to everyone can see him. Jaga states, "How dare you call upon me in my shower? I needed my 20 minutes of cleansing to wash off the guilt of the day. I am Jaga the Wise. I was Claudis's most trusted pussy bro, and I saved our young Lord Lion-O, even though he was an annoying little prince, and the other noble ThunderCats from our doomed Thundera. There is no way you can blame me for destroying Thundera. I was not even there, you dumb pussies. It was a natural disaster." Dun dun dun. Lion-O looks at Jaga proudly, and the priestess says, "Here is an eyewitness to your crimes, Ratar-O." Ratar-O does a rap about how Jaga beat him to an inch of his life, sealed him from which he manages to escape in time to witness Jaga throwing the Sword of Plundar in a volcano, which causes the destruction of Thundera. And he heard Jaga say, "F this planet," as he threw it in. Outrageous. Truly
outrageous.
Lion-O yells in protest, "No!" In defense of Jaga, and the priestess reveals an ancient mirror. She calls out, "Ancient spirits of Thundera, show me through time, space, and dimensions what truly caused the destruction of our Thundera." It glows and projects the scene from Thunder Cubs Part 1. It was a VHS projector, but clear enough to show the truth.
It was not digitally enhanced, apparently.
It was not. Everyone is stunned, especially Lion-O, who is in thunder tears, and Jaga is speechless for once in his life. We see a sharp smile growing on the Thunderian priestess's face. Is this Mumm-Ra?
Sounds like it. He does like to do drag.
And her eyes glow red, and so does her old Snarf eyes, as the old Snarf licks his lips just like the handsome Mammut. No way. From Part 4, Return of Whizz-Ra. David, just for you. Get the oil ready.
I got a gypsum supplier. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We were supposed to mention Bunglers. It's out by now. Our Chitara Gold song, available on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and beyond.
iTunes, baby.
iTunes. I love it. All of it.
It's a really good song.
Radical Retro Rewind Band. Jaga loses his shit, his cool, and his hat. The priestess casts a spell and traps Jaga's spirit in the ancient mirror. Lion-O is speechless and literally does not believe his eyes. The ThunderCats lower their heads and head back to their cells. Back on Third Earth, Panthro, Bengali, Wily Cat, and Snarf are joined by Mandora, who has commandeered Captain Shiner's ship, now making plans to travel to the coordinates of the ThunderCats. We jump forward to the rescue team arriving, and Panthro and Wily Cat approach the community cautiously, like Captain Kirk and his land party in Star Trek V, in the desert, but no one will do a sexy dance like Ahura. Snarf and Bengali search the planet with Mandora and on her badass bike, and they see Mumm-Ra's travel camper van pyramid and Ratar-O with a team of new mutants, a female mutant called Wolfie, an openly gay mutant called Ganzelman, and a trans mutant called Badhuni. Bahuni, Baduni. Metesh, did I say any of these names correctly? Please let me know. These are some badass mutants with an army of additional gazelle men. They are ready to storm the community and capture the Thunderians, because even though they have won, mutants be stupid, dog. Mm-hmm. The Panther and Snarf teams exchange info and they have their eyes on the Thunderian priestess. We cut to Jaga in distress in the mirror when he hears a soothing but commanding voice from behind him. Jaga, you are innocent, my friend. I can help you prove it. And a well-oiled, muscular Whizz-Ra appears behind Jaga. Oh my god.
The beautiful Chitara.
The beautiful Devra. He shows Jaga the same scene of him throwing the sword of Plundar in the volcano. Here's my retcon to restore Jaga to his just being judgmental rather than being responsible for the manslaughter. Oh, great. I love this. Okay. The image changes and Jaga is holding the sword of Plundar because Mumm-Ra, the ever jelly, Jaga exclaims, so it was Mumm-Ra who threw the sword and destroyed Thundera. I cannot believe it because I am Jaga, the ever right. Whizz-Ra says, I can free you by covering myself in more dimensional oil and my well-oiled muscles.
Yes, you can.
I can defeat Mumm-Ra. Oh my god! I hope that new Whizz-Ra figure comes with a bottle of oil.
I just hope it comes out because I really want.
I know it will. They like money. Panther, Snarf, and the rest free Lion-O and the ThunderCats as Ratar-O and his new mutants arrive and give them a great battle. Action scenes, bang. I mean, boink. Adam West would be proud. Rest in peace. Yes, 60s Batman. All the cue music sequences from Ho, the movie play. Whizz-Ra appears in the middle and confronts the priestess and announces, I know who you are, bitch, and I will expose myself to you. Oh my, George Takei appears to announce. He was, oh my, yes, I could picture him saying that. Whizz-Ra continues to say, and my dimensional oil will expose you to the world. The shine of Whizz-Ra's body is so bright, it blinds her, and she screams until it turns into Mumm-Ra, and all can see who he is. So you got it right, of course. You got Mumm-Ra in drag. This is dead on. And everyone on the planet shouts, of course, the female character was Mumm-Ra. Battle continues with Whizz-Ra, Bengali, Panther, and Snarf leading the charge. As it seems they are about to win, Ratar-O's ship, the Ratstar, appears and blasts the ancient dimensional mirror to pieces, and Whizz-Ra disappears, blowing a final kiss to David. Goodbye, my love. See you in the bathroom mirror as you floss your teeth.
I'll find you no matter where you go. I got you.
Oh my god.
You are mine.
You flossed your teeth, David. Oh my goodness. You know what? Everything's meant to be. It all comes full circle. Leah's review talking about Jaga burying things. Whizz-Ra's oiled body.
And yet they
gold. I love it.
And they all say the same thing. David is after Whizz-Ra.
Oh my god. Whizz-Ra, Bengali, Lion-O.
I am boy crazy.
You haven't gone from
I can't help
Tigra.
I can't help it if I'm boy crazy. It's
maybe
in my DNA.
It's in your DNA. Part 5, Return to Thundera or not. Let's finish this quick. The Ratstar blasts all the Thunderians on the surface, and as they all dive for cover, confused because Ratar-O is our lord. Suddenly, a fleet of Berbil starships warp in the system and enter the atmosphere and blast the blank out of the Ratstar with Robert torpedoes, and we see Robert Bob and Robert Bert in command. Lion-O calls for the Sword of Omens and battles. The now transformed Mumm-Ra, who calls upon the Sword of Plundar. They have a Darth Maul versus Baby Yoda unseen footage. Sword on sword action scene. What were you going to say?
I'm not saying anything about a sword on sword action.
Oh. The ThunderCats versus New Mutants. Now, not to end the story so quickly, but that's what happens in the end of each 5-parter, so it's tradition. That's so true. Mumm-Ra flees to his travel pyramid with Mom-Mut, and Jaga says his goodbye to Lion-O. The last scene is Bengali running to Lion-O's arm, where they embrace each other, and we hear Mumm-Ra's jealous screams shout in the distance as Lion-O and Bengali kiss.
He was supposed to be my pussycat.
Sorry, what? The Thunderians all beam up to the Berbil starship as they all travel battle with the ThunderCats in space to form and develop a new Thunderian community on Third Earth. And that is the return of Thundera. It's where their heart is. I love that. It's the name. It's where they are welcome and can call home. The end. Ho! Oh, and the new mutants come along too to form a new group of gender-neutral mutants and live happily with Slythe and the crew. Do they know Myrna? Did they like Myrna the mutant?
And is Slythe cooking? Does he go back to his roots of cooking?
Cooking Thunder. The spices. The spices, Lion-O. I hope you liked it. I know it's long, but recarns were needed due to the fact that if a Thundera exists, then that means the ThunderCats are no longer refugees. And in Hear the Roar, it clearly states that it was a big issue debated by the writers in changing the status quo and motivation to survive. And the old Jaga needs to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, who can make mistakes by being an arrogant fool, but not to be the primary reason the bloody planet was destroyed. True. If anyone still thinks that was a good idea, go spend some time in the Book of Omens. And as for Whizz-Ra, how long has David been waiting? How many full-length mirrors does our brother need to buy? David deserves his dessert too. All those parts need airing. As always, love you, Ryan, David, Zach, Leah, and all the Bunglers. Ho! Thanks, Metesh, your UK ho. P.S. I'm off to watch Gem and the Holograms to start building the love.
Oh, thank you. And by the way, I actually just did put a full-length mirror on one of my double doors. I have a double door that goes into my bedroom.
Also just bought a full-length mirror. So
I have a few mirrors.
But we learned in next week's Leah episode that mirrors can be also deadly. And you could have gargoyles watching you.
I have Whizz-Ra. I feel like this was amazing. I feel like this 5-parter was written particularly for me, for my happy ending.
Yes, very happy endings. Happy endings galore. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
I love this because it retconned so many things, Metesh. So you brought Ratar-O back. You brought them back to Third Earth.
I really love the twist about them.
Oh wait, did Pumyra ever come back? Pumyra never came back.
Pumyra. Pumyra. Another song that
yes, not available on iTunes, but could be if you want it. Pumyra, Metesh,
you should really play a little bit of the
we will
the iTunes song.
We could for sure.
Just a little.
We'll end it. We'll end it with that
little snippet. It's also on Spotify.
It's on Spotify, yeah, for free. My God, Metesh, that was amazing. We love you. I know that took a lot to come up with those creative ideas. Take the time to do it.
I really love the whole fact that Ratar-O comes in as a savior and like almost. I don't think I would have risked. I would have loved to have been revered like a
forever. Just keep it like
as the deity, like as a whatever, like the
not
king,
revealing yourself
the king and being taken care of. I think I probably would have just been content with that. But that has always been the flaws of the mutants and Mumm-Ra. Always wanting more and the corruption. Like I would have been happy with just being taken care of, being the king of the castle who saved them and being worshipped by these Thunderian, and be their savior.
Yes.
So, but this is where the mutants always go wrong. Selfishness.
Gazelle men. I love the Gazelle men. Mm-hmm. You also cleared up things like the planet reforming and all. Like I just love that. And it wasn't judgmental Jaga's fault that it happened. That's also an extra beautiful thing. So Bunglers, next week get ready for a jam-packed 2-hour plus review episode with our lovely Leah. And then our new season, if you listen to Radical, debuts right after that on Halloween. So we have a busy schedule. Thank you for everyone who writes in. Thank you for all of our bunglers from across the world. And just Metesh, thank you for this. Again, thank you for going back to listen. Thank you for listening to Gem in preparation. I think you're really going to get a kick out of that.
I think that's awesome, Metesh. And thank you for this because that actually really enthused me. But unfortunately, your story is not what the writers did.
Thank you, bunglers, for being here. As always, if you are on Apple and you listen to us on there, it would be amazing if you could leave us a review. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a little star in the corner. You can
star us, people. If you're YouTube, anywhere, Apple, please just give us a star, give us a review. just do it.
Share
it.
Share it. Let people know.
Do a quick thing. Please definitely listen to the song. It's really something we put our heart and soul into it. It's our original lyrics, and we really put time into it. And actually, honestly, I am not just saying that because we produced it. I really think it's kind of cool. It's catchy and
standalone.
It does reference things like Chitara, and the funny thing with references like our thing about gold, and it does mention
the mirror Whizz-Ra.
It does mention Whizz-Ra, my man Whizz-Ra, and it does talk about
no oil.
It does.
We should have known. We should have known.
It does talk about gold, and it does talk about the ThunderCats, but also I'm putting it out there. It does sound very much like it could be if you would take out the ThunderCats reference, and you could be like a song that like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or somebody else did, because the way we had it set up, it sounds very much
it does
in that vein.
It does.
And I think if people actually caught onto it, people would really enjoy it. It's just catchy and it's cool. And honestly,
and rap might not be like, rap isn't our main thing, but it just fit perfectly with the lyrics and the structure of the song.
Yeah,
so thank you again, Bunglers. You could reach David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, on Instagram, as well as the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. ThunderCats Reviews 1985, also on Instagram, is our ThunderCats only page. And we will see you next week for that brand new episode of ThunderCats Reviews. David, oiled hoe.
Who you calling a hoe first? And secondly, I guess if Lion-O ends up with Bengali, Whizz-Ra is not by any means a consolation prize.
Not at all.
He is the real deal.
He started out there young. He started out there early on for you.
He is an Egyptian god. So, and we mentioned him in that song. I'm going to push that song again.
It is.
He is my Egyptian supplier, and I love it. I love it. Oh, all of it. Anyway, peace out, hoes.